art and science are actually simply two different manifestations of the same creative energy. I think creative writing and scientific writing are not really that far apart when you look at it at their essence. The basic component of good creative writing, just like good scientific writing, is the ability to tell a good story. To be able to weave the facts together and create a story that engages people and at the same time gets your ideas across.
About 2 years ago, Amy became familiar with the Pen in the Classroom program and brought it to Ocean Discovery Institute and said, you know, I think this could be a really great collaboration, and told us more about the program, about the purpose, and obviously about the great impact it has in terms of creating the anthology so that the students actually have a published piece of work. And we thought it was a fantastic idea, and last year began to work with Pen in the Classroom.
The kids started coming to me and saying, I want to make people laugh with mine. Can you make mine funny? Or they would say, I really want to make people cry. So we would work on, like, how can we put more of them in there? And that was when I had that aha moment of they really want more, they're craving more of this creativity, and their growth in their writing is tenfold. You know, they go from just stating that what they saw was beautiful to then describing about the sea stars and how scared they were about getting eaten by a whale shark, and also about a cockroach's nervous system. And they can tell me how beautiful all of that was instead of using something generic.
The process of creative writing is really important, not just to actually becoming good writers, but also because it's a really critical skill in science. In order to be a good scientist, you need to be able to be a good communicator, and it's one of the skills that's usually a challenge for good scientists, is to learn that skill of being able to convey what you want to a wide audience. And I think through the creative writing process and through the students really learning this skill and honing this in, that it will improve their work as scientists.
Students are involved in authentic research, so they aren't going out and doing sort of pre-planned experiments that have been run before where you know what the answer is, or at least you know what the expected answer is. These students are engaged in actual research alongside scientists from the University of San Diego, Stanford University, Scripps Institution of Oceanography, and a whole bunch of others, doing work in the field and actually collecting data that are presented at international conferences, published in scientific journals, and used to actually better our environment and to expand our horizons scientifically.
One of the students last year was a Karen refugee in a Thailand refugee camp, and her grandmother rescued her and brought her to the United States. And she had lost both of her parents. And the way she was describing her experience and her love with her grandmother was, she called it whirly love. To me, whirly love said everything in the context of this story of what she had been through. So whirly love was just her translation of this combined love that her and her grandmother had, that they shared. And I thought it expressed it so wonderfully because it wasn't literal, it was very literary and very poetic. In turn, it's become my expression now for when they're expressing something and they put it in their own words, their own creative words, and they're able to put their soul on the page. I feel like that's the whirly love that they've put into their pieces.
Our program is really about empowering young people from urban and diverse backgrounds who otherwise wouldn't have these opportunities, and who really are in an academic environment where they're not provided with necessarily, strong writing backgrounds and strong science backgrounds. And so The opportunity for them to come into a program like this is a really special opportunity that their peers do not have.
Having a voice allows you to both teach and to learn. It allows you to ask questions about the world around you. It allows you think about all the really tough things that happen to kids in the world. And if they had a voice to speak out against wrongs being committed against them, or to speak up for themselves, or to speak up to take advantage of a new opportunity, and having a voice means everything.
One of the instructors here at Ocean Discovery told me that a couple of the girls were talking one day and she heard them talking about some issues they were having, and one of the other ones said, well, you know what you should do is write about it, and then you'll probably be able to solve what it is. And she said that's when she knew that it was working.
When you believe in young people, they then begin to believe in themselves, and then begin to believe that anything is possible, and that is what Amy gives them.